Justice, you are the program's second Food Security Fellow. Would you tell the audience a little bit about the scope of that and your experiences so far?
Right. So food security, for me, is a subject that I take as a personal issue because it's one of the driving factors that brought me into journalism. Because when I was growing up, I lived with my grandmother, and we were subsistence farmers farming mainly cassava, which is a starchy food that dominates food in West Africa. And for us, farming was like a gamble because at the beginning of the farming season, we do not know what we are going to get in the end. So we were basically betting our odds on what we are going to have. That is what has led me over the last 3 years to focus my journalism on food security, health, and then climate change, and then look at how these three subjects interconnect and affect the lives of ordinary people. And so it's been an amazing experience coming here. Part of my fellowship has been to study at the Donald Danforth Plant Science Center in St. Louis, and I only found out, and I did a blog about it last week, that the pest that ensured that many years ago, 20 years ago, my grandmother's cassava was losing 100% of its harvest was because of a disease that researchers at the Donald Danforth Center are now finding a solution to. And so it was really refreshing learning about these and then going back to Ghana, having all of this information that would now help me to be able to do journalism that would inform policymakers, to be able to take some of these research documents seriously in order that other farmers will not suffer the sort of fate that I and my family suffered growing up. And so for me, that is what brought me into food security journalism, and having worked here at a place like the Los Angeles Times, working with very experienced food and agriculture writers. It's been an amazing time learning from them and having their input into how to do this kind of journalism, because I didn't have a science background myself, and so tapping into their experience and then taking their feedback in terms of how to present the story in order that you have the impact that you have. And just an aside, my last story that was published by the LA Times was about an Ethiopian grain called teff, which is a gluten-free grain, and looking at how the introduction of that grain, which is until now been only grown in California for horse feed, could now be grown for its food purposes, because it's more like the food for the future, they say.
Excellent.